Hey everybody! So in this video, we are going to be talking about some tips for disclosing DID to family members and friends. So a lot of people, when they find out that they have DID, are really scared to tell other people because DID is not well understood by a lot of people and there's a lot of stigma. So I'm going to give you guys some different tips on how to tell people that you want to tell. Understand that you never have to tell someone that you don't want to, other than, medical doctors, professionals that are responsible for your care who need to know this to take care of you. But friends and family don't have to know unless you're comfortable talking with them about it and you know that they're safe. So the first thing to do is talk to them about what DID is. See what they think they know about it or what they do know about it, and find out what they think. Find out, do they have positive thoughts on it? Do they have any preconceived notions already going on? Do they feel negatively about it? Is this person going to be somebody that you can talk to about this safely? Is pretty easily judged by how they react to the idea of DID without you telling them you have it. Now, the second tip, once you've gauged whether or not they're an okay person to talk to, is to start talking about different things to do with DID and see how they handle it. See how they react to stories about people with DID. What do they say about these people? How do they seem to feel about people with DID in general? And then the next step, after you've done all of that and you've made sure that they're okay with all of that, is to tell them that you have DID. Now, don't go giving tons and tons of information all at once. That can be really overwhelming to people. Just let them know what your diagnosis is and what you need from them. If you need them to be aware of certain triggers, then let them know that. If you need them to be aware of the needs of specific system members who might be out around them, let them know that too. Whatever it is that you and your system are comfortable sharing, share that with them so that they're on the same page as you. You don't want to have miscommunications happening or misunderstanding happening because somebody wasn't getting what you were really saying to them. Now, another important step when it comes to disclosing DID is make sure that this is someone who is not going to start telling a bunch of other people about it, because it is never anyone else's right to disclose your diagnosis. Only you and your system get to do that. So you have to make sure that this person understands that it's not something that they just get to share with anybody they happen to be talking to. That this is up to you to share, and you alone, your system, nobody else. Now, understand that not everyone is going to react positively to finding out you have DID, and this can be especially true if you're talking to your family and it was a family member who contributed to your trauma. They may not want to believe that a member of your family could have put you in a traumatic situation or even committed an act of violence or abuse against you. And they may be able to accept the idea of DID, but not able to accept the idea that anyone in their group had anything to do with it. Another thing you need to be prepared for is not understanding the full scope of things. A person can intellectually get what something is, but they're not going to ever understand it at its core because they don't live with it. Now, the best way to make this less of an issue is for that person to educate themselves. If they don't know where to look, you can gently suggest some different sources or even bring them information if they're open to that. Understand that a lot of people are not really capable of accepting that terrible, awful things happen to children. They don't like their worldview to be challenged, and they don't like the idea that these awful things happen. These are not safe people to disclose to. If you know that a person has a history of disbelieving accounts of abuse or mistreatment or trauma, that's not a safe person to disclose to. Just don't. Because you don't ever deserve to be invalidated that way, and neither do any of the members of your system. Now, here are some people that I 100% suggest that you always disclose to. Medical doctors, dentists, therapists, and psychiatrists. Basically, anyone who is responsible for the well-being of your body or your mind needs to be aware of the diagnosis, because it can affect the way different treatments will work or not work on you. There are some treatments, for instance, in counseling, that are not recommended for people with DID without very specific protocol being followed, because it can cause more harm than good. And with medical doctors, because medical procedures and dental procedures and things of that nature can sometimes be very triggering, it is important that they understand what the diagnosis is and what's going on, and that you know that you have a doctor who is going to be sympathetic to all of your needs as a system, and who is not going to invalidate your experiences or treat you badly because of them, because there are doctors who are very poorly educated in mental health and will not be a good fit. So that's certainly something that you want to gauge. Is this person going to be a good fit for me and for my system, and is this person a safe doctor or professional to have as part of my care team? So disclosing to these people is often a matter of safety and mental well-being. So it's something that I very much encourage, because you don't want to end up in a situation where you have a practitioner who does not know anything about mental health and does not know how to handle it, and another system member has a flashback, or a very young system member comes forward and behaves as a young kid will, and draws unwanted attention to you and creates potential problems for all of you because this doctor doesn't understand what they're looking at. So overall, always disclose to your health professionals. Make sure that they're someone who's safe to have as a health professional, because they know what they're doing and they understand mental health. And if you're going to disclose to family and friends, make sure that they're a safe person to talk to, and make sure that they are not going to be invalidating or further traumatize you or your system. Well, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Have a good day, everybody.